presuntos traficantes de órganos conocidos como pelacaras. El docente habría quedado gravemente herido en la comunidad nativa de San Luis de Caco en Iparía, porque habría sido quemado con un láser en su cara. Los pobladores de la zona de manera inmediata trasladaron a Sila Soto al centro de salud del distrito de Iparía, donde su estado es de pronóstico reservado debido a su situación crítica. Pero, ¿quiénes son los pelacaras? En la selva peruana se le tiene mucho temor al pelacara, lo que en los Andes se lo conoce como pistacos. Así llaman los pobladores a los extranjeros. Sila Soto es un profesor bilingüe que fue atacado por presuntos traficantes de órganos conocidos como pelacaras. El docente habría quedado gravemente herido en la comunidad nativa de San Luis de Caco en Iparía, porque habría sido quemado con un láser en su cara. Los pobladores de la zona de manera inmediata trasladaron a Sila Soto al centro de salud del distrito de Iparía, donde su estado es de pronóstico reservado debido a su situación crítica. Pero, ¿quiénes son los pelacaras? En la selva peruana se le tiene mucho temor al pelacara, lo que en los Andes se lo conoce como pistacos. Así llaman los pobladores a los extranjeros, quienes aseguran que los traficantes de órganos que matan a personas para hacer cremas de belleza, entre otros productos. Cabe recordar que en Pucallpa, por el año 2008, se escuchó mucho sobre los pelacaras, en la que la televisión, en las radios y hasta en los periódicos decían que habían venido a la ciudad y se llevaban a niños y adolescentes para sacarles la grasa y los órganos. Después contaban que solían dejar abandonados los cuerpos con el estómago abierto, sin órganos y con fajos de dólares dentro. Y era justamente por esta plata que las familias de las víctimas de los pelacaras no lo denunciaban a la policía, y si alguien lo hacía, los pelacaras pagaban a la policía para que no hagan caso a la denuncia.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Listen, I have a story that I need to tell you guys about, and this is pretty insane. Okay. Now, a lot of the news articles, a lot of the news broadcasts that we would love to see are all mostly in Spanish, because the United States is not covering this case as far as mainstream media goes, but I can guarantee you that almost every journalist in Peru is covering this story. Now, there is a village, an indigenous tribe in Peru, and give me just a sec, guys. One second here. Okay. All right. Is that better? I think that sounds better. Let me just make sure my audio is set properly. All right. Yeah, that sounds a lot better. Okay. So basically, this is what's going down. There is a village in Peru, and this has been going on for a couple of weeks, guys. I've been hearing about this for weeks. There's an indigenous tribe that is in Peru that is claiming they are being attacked by 7 to 8 foot aliens that appear to be floating and flying through the air. And I've got a breakdown of the incidents that occurred. The Peruvian authorities, this is the insane story they came up with. They believe that it is illegal gold miners that are wearing jetpacks. Number one, it's not easy to operate a jetpack, for one. And for two, jetpacks are extremely loud. These authorities say they hear nothing. Now, this indigenous village, I'm talking about everyone in this village is upset, okay? And so Peruvian authorities are trying to make claims that, that aliens that attacked this indigenous village were actually illegal miners wearing jetpacks, But since mid-July, members of this indigenous Iquitos tribe in the Laredo region of Peru have complained that their community is being terrorized by 7-foot-tall aliens. They call these aliens face peelers. Let me mute them.
Sí la Soto.
They call these aliens face peelers. And you'll know why here in a moment. Now, this mysterious predator-like being has been described as floating, being armored, and being completely bulletproof. I have a clip here I'm going to show you guys in which they are literally shooting a shotgun at this thing, and it doesn't do anything. It like just disappears right out of their view. Okay. Now, they have been attributed to a local Peruvian superstition, the Las Pelicaras, which means face peelers. Now, they believe these are aliens, that they seemed armored like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. One individual named Era Aviala said that he shot one twice and it did not fall. Instead, it elevated and disappeared. He is an Aikido leader living in the northwestern Manus province. He told this in an interview with Peruvian radio station RPP Noticias on August the 1st. He said they are absolutely frightened by what is happening in the community. And they say this is going on since mid-July. Now, what has happened? Well, for starters, a 15-year-old girl was reportedly cut in her on her neck in one of these attacks, and she required treatment at a hospital. The terrified villagers have pleaded for local and regional authorities to provide them with some form of military protection, because these Aikido people live in a very isolated area of the Laredo region. It's nearly 10 hours away by boat from Iquitos, which is the capital city of Peru's Manus province in Laredo region. So members of the community have claimed that they are unable to safely travel to the capital due to these attacks. They go on to say their color is silver. Their shoes are round in shape. And with those shoes, they rise up. They float 1 meter high and have a red light on their heel. Their heads are long, their mask is long, and their eyes are yellowish. Now, this unearthly story did quickly go viral, and it's left many as skeptics and many as believers to analyze and argue over the legitimacy of this, of some very grainy video footage, which was shot at night. But all of these people aren't lying, okay? This video has been shared by members of the Aikido community. One individual posted an enhanced image of an alleged extraterrestrial and asked, quote, "Is it a being or just tree branches? You decide." But most people confidently asserted the image, was an alien, okay? There's a lot going on in these videos. And let me tell you some additional things before I tell you about these incidents that have been going on. Okay. The Peruvian authorities don't believe them. All right. They're unconvinced. And sometimes the craziest stories are the truest ones. The Peruvian Navy and National Police of Peru did send officers to investigate these strange occurrences and to verify the claims reported by the isolated community in early August. This is what they were told, that their faces are hidden, but their bodies are floating. They use their arms for balance when flying, but they walk normally. They fly by activating something on the bottom of their feet. They have wheels with lights. Now, shortly after concluding their investigation, authorities announced that They believed this was illegal gold mining gangs from Colombia and Brazil that was responsible for terrorizing this village and had been mistaken for aliens due to them using jetpacks. So, is this a hoax? Is this really illegal miners on jetpacks that have no sound? According to Carlos Castro Quintanilla, the lead investigator in the case, 80% of illegal gold mining in the Laredo region occurs where the Iquitos village is located. Now, authorities said that the jetpacks were used by these illegal mining cartels to explore deeper into the forest while they searched the area for gold. No individuals or organizations have been named directly, and no arrests have been made in relation to these attacks. Now, I want to read something to you really quick. Give me a sec. I want to read you the list of incidents, okay? This is what has happened since June 19th. On June 19th, in the same area in Peru, okay? And I'll try to make this a little bigger for you. Hold on. All right, there we go. Second. Okay. So, on June the 19th, 3 teenagers were seriously burned by a light coming from a UFO in Mesa near Pucallpa. Okay. So that incident happened. It was documented. Now, July 15th, a Professor Silas Soto was seriously injured in the head by a light fired by unknown beings in the Iperia south of Pucallpa. On July 27th, a woman claims to have seen 3 tall, dark beings floating around that disappeared after she started screaming in Puerto Alejandro, which is near where? Iquitos, the same town or village we're talking about. Now, on July 29th, 2 days later, a 15-year-old girl was dragged 50 meters by beings after receiving some kind of anesthetic fluid on her face and had her neck cut until she was saved by residents of San Antonio in the Iquitos tribe near Iquitos. Right after the incident with the girl, the federal police and the Peruvian Navy were in the community for a few hours collecting testimonies. That same day, the Brazilian Navy announced a joint training operation in Iquitos with the navies of Peru and Colombia. Now, in the end of July, a girl fainted after seeing strange beings in the community of San Antonio near Iquitos, same areas. And still at the end of July, students from the Peruvian National University of the Amazon reported seeing strange beings. On August the 7th, strange beings attacked a boy who was left in a coma with a delicate state of health near where? Iquitos. So there's some sort of very aggressive being that is attacking these people in Peru. Okay. And I'd like to show you some additional pieces. And I understand that it's in Spanish. Okay, I get that. But this guy here, Ronnie Burnett, he's been following this and specifically this story. And something interesting that he says, that I noticed is he talks about how these are luminous creatures of some kind and that they almost look like gold birds flying in the sky. But, that's just not big enough, right? But there's plenty of UFOs in the skies of Peru, as we can see here. Okay, we can clearly see that. This one is flying right above, flying above the Brazilian Congress, looking like golden luminous birds, but they're UFOs. And they're moving at angles that are absolutely impossible for a plane. Look, then it's down here. Then it's right there. Look at that. That's not a plane. And then it just disappears. But there's something I want to show you guys. So viewer discretion is advised because there's a reason why they call them face peelers. And this one I'm about to show you, it's okay if I put it on YouTube because it's not gory or anything like that. But they're called face peelers because they're literally peeling people's faces off in not a lick of blood to be found anywhere. No blood, nothing. It is the weirdest thing ever. Okay? Ever. Let me show you this. So this is someone that was found dead laying by the bank of a river in Iquitos. Let me just play the video.
On the bank of a river was victim to one of these alien attacks. And we can see some Peruvian police officers taking the leaves off that were covering his face. Now look at his head. Almost his entire face has been completely removed with what looks to be surgical level precision or greater. Now if this was some sort of movie prop, they did a good job because it looks very convincing. Also, when the officer falls over, you can tell that looks like the real weight of a person. But the video recording itself.
So what you're seeing is someone who's laying on the beach whose face has been peeled off surgically, starting at the neck region there. And I'm talking, there's no blood. It almost reminds me of those cattle mutilations, right? Didn't I tell you before to not come in here with that name? Please stop doing that. Next time you do that, I will block you. And I don't hardly ever block, but I'd appreciate it if you would not do that in my chat. Okay? I've asked you nicely. Can you please respect that and stop being an asshole? Thank you. Those are not aliens, but Incas that went into hiding over 500 years ago. Hey, I absolutely love a good mystery, Dell. Okay. And I'd love to take a look at that contact report. But this nickname that they have garnered, which is face peelers, where they're peeling the still photo shot of this is pretty crazy because again, there's not a lick of blood anywhere. None. And the way the face and the skin is peeled back, but the muscle is still on the face. It is the most strangest thing I've ever seen. And this is happening in the same region of Peru. Okay. The same region of Peru. But the Peruvian government wants us to believe that it's these illegal miners on jetpacks flying through the jungle. Okay. Flying through the doggone jungle. And we're talking about all of these people that are testifying to this. They say there was no sound coming from these beings. So how could it be a jetpack? Right? It's the most ridiculous thing. Now, even on August 7th, well, I told you about this, how a 15-year-old boy was also attacked, another minor. It's like their attack is on children right now. And even, again, students of the Peruvian National University of Amazon near Iquitos also reported seeing these beings. Okay. Now, I want you to hear this, even though it is in Spanish, there is English subtitles. This community professor confirms the story and the characteristics of the floating beings that could not be hit by shotgun.
Solamente sabemos que andan.
So read,
Buenos días a todos.
read the English subtitles, okay? For those of you that can't understand Spanish.
Buenos días a todos. Es realmente muy preocupante la situación, lo que venimos viviendo en la comunidad de San Antonio, porque ya son casi 3 semanas que hay un terror, una incertidumbre, una preocupación tremenda en la población, porque estamos sufriendo esos ataques de esos seres extraños que muchas veces no sabemos con precisión quiénes son. Solamente sabemos que andan, muchas veces no pisan tierras. Ya hubieron disparos, se les ha disparado, pero sin ningún resultado. No les hacen nada a esos señores, quienes serán. Por tanto, es así que toda la población en su conjunto pide mucho apoyo por parte, ¿no?, a la Policía Nacional, al Ejército, que vaya a reforzar estas vigilancias que los pobladores hacen. Así es, amigo, en la noche se convierte el pueblo de San Antonio un terror realmente, porque no se puede estar en una tranquilidad sabiendo que te van a matar. Entonces, la policía se fue al lugar, pero solamente se fue, tomó algunas notas y se retiró. Entonces, causó también mucha preocupación eso de las personas, de los pobladores. Ellos necesitan que las autoridades se vayan y permanezcan en el lugar. Son personajes, no se puede decir porque son vestidos como en forma plateados, toda la silueta, no son bultosos, solamente son plateados, que no pisan tierra, se elevan, que los ven a unos 10 metros, más o menos de 60 centímetros aproximadamente.
All right, so one thing I want to do is I want to read this to you, to those of you that are unable to see this or you may be listening. You heard it in Spanish, so let me read it to you in English. It goes as such. Okay. Good. And this is the guy being interviewed by the media. Good morning, everyone. I'm really very worried about the situation. We have been living in the community of San Antonio because it's been almost 3 weeks that there is a terror and an uncertainty and a tremendous concern in the population because we are suffering. There are attacks by strange beings, and often not, we do not know precisely who they are. We only know that they don't step on the ground many times if they hear shots. We shoot them, but it's not effective. None of that. So, gentlemen, that the population as a whole is asking for a lot of support. National Police and Army, we want them to go there. The residents do the surveillance, and at the night, San Antonio becomes a terror. A terror because we cannot stay calm knowing they are going to kill us. The police came there, but only for a little period. They took notes and then they were gone. The people of the villagers, they need the authorities to stay there for a long time. I can tell you they have a silver silhouette. They don't touch the ground. They rise to 30 feet high. They're about 2 feet high. And of course, there could be some misconstruing going on there, but they don't even touch the freaking ground, okay? Another group of villagers telling their stories about these insane beings that they're seeing in Iquitos. These very strange beings. Now, here's the girl who almost had her face peeled. Okay? They tried to remove her face, but she was rescued. But you see how they started on the neck? just like with that one face with that body we just seen. They peeled him from his neck up. And she said they threw some sort of anesthetic on her face. Okay.
Con un pequeño corte en el cuello.
And this is when they found her. This is when they found her after she was attacked.
Logró escapar de estos supuestos seres y terminó con un pequeño corte.
But yeah, that's after they found her, after the attack. And she had a very clear cut, okay, on her face. I mean, on her neck. All right, period. Here is a very grainy video. They are shooting at this being. They're trying to kill this being.
Las noches se han vuelto aterradoras para los habitantes de la comunidad indígena ubicada en la provincia loretana de Maynas en la región Loreto. Episodios como este se repiten casi a diario en este lugar. Luces que vuelan unidireccionalmente acompañados de espeluznantes gritos.
Did you see that? Hold on. Did you all see that? Wait a second. Right here. Right here. It's almost like it floated above the trees. Hold on a second. What is that? There's something floating above the trees. Do you see that? Do you see that? Oh my God. Look. It's floating above the trees. And it doesn't even look like a bean. It looks like some sort of luminous light. Because if that was a flashlight, what would it be bouncing off of in the nighttime there? There's nothing. It would just go straight through. We would see a straight line, but we don't see a straight line. We see something, some sort of being or luminous something move off. That is so weird. That is weird.
Para los habitantes de la comunidad indígena,
they are not playing around down there in Peru, let me tell you. They are not playing around, and this is what's been going down. And you all should be aware of it. So this kind of goes to what we talk about, right? There are benevolent alien beings, and there are malevolent alien beings. Hey everybody. Hey Sexy Trapper TV. Hey Emmanuel. Hey Queen. Hey Scott. How you doing? Hey Emmanuel. I think I said that already, but whatever. But no, there is definitely something going on in Iquitos. Again, this has been going on. First incident was June 19th. And this has continued as recently as just yesterday, when there was another attack on a 15-year-old boy who is still in the hospital at this time. And again, they are being referred to as the face peelers, okay? Because of what we've seen, in which they peeled a man's face off. Now, there is a couple videos. Let me just show you this just one more time. All right.
And we can see some Peruvian police officers taking the leaves off that were covering his face.
There were leaves covering his face.
Now look at his head. Almost his entire face has been completely removed with what looks to be surgical level precision or greater. Now, if this was some sort of movie prop, they did a good job because it looks very convincing.
No blood.
Also, when the officer falls over, you can tell that looks like the real weight of a person. But the video recording itself is also very poorly shot, so the chances of a movie recording is unlikely. Now these aliens have been given the nickname face peelers, and you're about to see why. This man lying on the bank.
So anyway, again, very insane story, to say the least. But again, guys, we are not alone. I hate to tell you this, but we are not alone. Not only are we not alone when it comes to alien beings, we are alien to other aliens or to other beings. We are alien to them. And on top of the fact that there are such thing as alien beings, guys, there's a topic, there's something called cryptozoology. Cryptozoology is an area of expertise or science in which anything that doesn't fit in mainstream science goes into that bucket. Hybrid animals, half frog, half horse type stuff, right? And people are always trying to concoct and create things all the time. But this village, this Peruvian village is absolutely terrified, okay? And they are saying they are under attack by these 7-foot tall aliens. I bet you right now the CIA has already sent some agents down there, guaranteed, probably Spanish agents who can speak the Peru, just get right on in there, right? I'm telling you. Again, they have suffered repeated attacks. They've called for assistance from the Peruvian military, and they're at the point where they're doing their own nightly patrols just to protect their families. Again, I listed like 9 different incidents. Okay. Where the really strange one, though, was the 15-year-old girl when they began to cut part of her neck and they put some kind of anesthetic on her face, which is just really, really weird. And to claim that, that these were illegal gold miners with jetpacks flying through the air. I mean, come on. Come on. These guys, this entire village says there was no sound. And it's not even just that, it's how they look with their large heads, their yellow eyes, their mysterious figures, how they're immune to shotguns and other hunting weapons. They claim that there's been an attack every night since July the 11th. Every single night since July the 11th. Okay. Matter of fact, there was a man named a man named Davila who said he came face to face with one of these so-called aliens. And he said that alien's face was hardly visible. He said he's seen his whole body floating at a height of 1 meter. He was hovering. They don't even touch the ground. How are they expected to fight against something like that? And again, they appear to be armored because Davila said he shot one of them twice and he wasn't even injured. He just rose and disappeared. Just disappeared. So again, and I told you about the round shaped shoes, which they use to float. Their heads are long. They wear a mask again, and their eyes are yellowish, and they're experts at escaping. And we have actual evidence of these attacks, including a dead man whose face was peeled off with no sign of blood anywhere. Anyway, incredible story coming out of Iquitos, Peru. And I will continue to follow this. We will continue to, keep abreast. I'm very hesitant in saying anything about hoaxes because we have got multiple people and multiple, families that are saying, yo, I've seen this, I've seen that, and multiple people being attacked. No, that's too many coincidences. Too many. Okay, way too many. Anyway, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out. Before we get up out of here, allow me to pay some bills if you don't mind.
Shout out to the LeakYou community. Please join us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Please hit the like. Thank you.
Again, everyone, thank you so much for coming through. If you feel so inclined, feel free to donate to the LeakYou community. I am not monetized, have no plans to become monetized on the YouTube platform, but we do take donations in the form of Cash App and PayPal, and we pour it right back into our platform. You can hit me on $LeakYou or just LeakYou on the PayPal. Again, I appreciate everyone that came through. Until next time.
The judgment sentence that you are an asshole. The trial is over. Thank you, everybody.
Let's play a game. You have 10 seconds to take all your stuff and get out of my life. 10, 9, 8.
God bless you, motherfucker.
You're really smart. Like really, really, really smart like I am.